I wrote something for the second simulation. I should likely write something for the first one. I wrote
Yep,
the second one first because that one was easier for me.
that's fine. That looks good. There's no right or wrong.
That's the good thing. The first one is a simple sentence, but it makes sense, I think. At least that's how I think, in the way I wrote it.
Right. All right. Okay, so I feel like the second one is really second question here is really like you've already answered it, but basically it comes down to the speed. Like the two differences is that the speed and then the which broke apart and which didn't. And you've already answered that. But you have to somehow come up with a sentence which uh you want to say like the speed of the it's faster in the first compared to the second. But you want to use the word compare, like first compared to second, somewhere in there, or second compared to first. But you sort of are rewriting exactly what you wrote in the first one. But the two main things to talk about are speed and then the collisions and breaking apart. So could you give Greg, you make an attempt at a sentence or two for that?
But speed, okay. All right. Now time for the second one compared to
Okay,
the first.
that's perfect. All right. Okay. All right. Which of the factors that affect rates of reaction could explain the differences between these two runs? Explain the factors applied to the simulation runs and why they had the effect on these runs. Okay. This one's more involved. It refers more directly to what's going on in your in your um, there, but it doesn't talk about speed, interestingly. I could just see this one getting pushed back on you. what I'm doing is I'm trying to find something here that's going to be a little bit. 12. What question is this? 10.
It, yeah, 10.
Okay. Um, what I have here is the sort of like something I found that we need to rewrite. Like you don't want to use this, but you can see here the first sentence, and that's how you kind of rewrite it. Is it's the first thing they're talking about is energy. That's kind of the big thing here. If you recall that the person clicked between low energy and high energy. Okay. Um, and kind of this last sentence is yeah, and it's written so well. But in the high energy simulation runs, the particles are moving faster and they collide more frequently, leading to a higher reaction rate. So one of the ways you could reword this, and I'll help you for the first one, is you say a higher reaction rate comes from a higher energy where the particles are moving faster. Okay. And then we want to say the same thing for the low energy. So could you try to write a similar sentence, maybe just changing words for low energy? Like a low energy reaction comes from, well, I mean, I'll just do it here. Okay. A low energy reaction comes from a lower energy where the particles are moving slower. Okay. All right. And then the next thing we want to say here is um, the greater energy down in this last sentence, the greater the energy, um, the higher the reaction rate. So could you try to reword this last sentence?
Yeah, I can try.
All right.
Can you just unhighlight it so I can see it?
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Sure.
You just want me to rewrite that whole thing, right? That
Just the
the
last sentence there, the when the particles, give that a try.
all right. All right. I tried to paraphrase it to the best that I could.
All right. That's fine. Okay. And then we can say something about the different reaction rates is directly related to the energy. All right, and that's what other sentences are. So that's probably enough. So uh question 11 here. Question 11. Explain in your own words what a catalyst is and how it can affect a chemical reaction. So let's go right to your this is from right from your notes. And so, I mean, I don't know if you can just exactly copy that. I would reword it. And then I would go out to the internet and find an example for a reaction that uses a catalyst.
All right. Maybe I should reword, or maybe I should search up the example first before I think about rewording it.
Yeah.
It's like Google knew what I needed.
Yeah.
So, from what I searched up before I type it, it says iron as a great example of something that uses a catalyst. So I think I'll just write that down. And I gotta rewrite the sentences. Okay, time to rewrite this. All right, I included an example and I rewrote the catalyst thing.
Yeah, very good.
Just wanted to make sure it sounded good, yeah.
Okay. So like it's the same thing for this one. Like this is straight from your notes, and like I don't know if you can just put that in.
I could rewrite it from the notes to make it seem more.
Sure, sure. And then the other thing here is you have to give an example. So your example will be something where increasing the temperature or decreasing the temperature causes a reaction to occur. And you can look that up also on the internet.
All right. All right. All right, I just sent in what I finished rewriting. Now I'm gonna go find an example.
All right, awesome. You might also consider asking your instructor if you can just copy and paste from the lesson. I mean, probably we already know the answer, but might be.
All right, what about I search up for an example like temp, like
So,
collision?
example of temperature increase as a catalyst.
Okay, cool. It doesn't give me any examples when I search it up, and I don't know why.
Okay. You could say it doesn't have to be increase. It could just be um, uh, so you kind of already mentioned these, like when you burn something.
Oh, like burning wood.
Yeah.
So we can just use that as an example.
Yes.
So should I like write down in the chat the example is burning wood, or should we just I don't know. Oh my god. Okay, hmm, okay. Um, Matthew, I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm a little confused right now. Are we still on question 12? Do I have to write
Yeah.
it down as an
Yeah.
example than
You have to
burning
give an
wood?
example. Yes. It says give an
So I,
example. So burning wood. Just say burning wood is an example of.
all right, let me just write that down. All right, I wrote it in the chat.
All right. Okay. So that's great. We're down to the last two here. So again, this is just straight uh from your notes. So I guess just give that um,
Right. Time for me to rewrite all those words. All right, I rewrote those bullet points, I think, in the best way that I
you're
could.
doing great. You're doing, this is tough for you, and you're doing great. Just so next thing is to find some sort of an example Um,
All right, what should I search up for an example? Like
just like we did in the last problem, so example of surface area
in a catalyst.
increasing increasing the reaction. Uh, I'm sorry. You did this for surface area. Okay, sorry. Okay, I copied it in the wrong place. That's okay.
Oh
Um,
no.
it's all right. So, surface area, uh, example of a chemical reaction, something like that. See if that.
It says here a good example of that is a crushed tablet.
Okay,
When I
there you
react,
go.
aren't
Go
those
for it.
like medicine?
Sure, but that's what your body does. And you know, in a really bad way, people that use abuse substances, they crush them up because
Oh,
they react more quickly. There's more surface area exposed.
all right. I just wrote down an example of the surface area is a crushed tablet.
Right. So the last one here, which I scrolled by, is let me get rid of this stuff, is the um, concentration. Just go ahead and rewrite that and give an example, please.
For which one again?
This one where there's the bullet point there.
All right, so I gotta rewrite it then give an example. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That I would say this is the question number 13 is the hardest thing to paraphrase. It's so short, so it's a challenge. But here's what I've tried to paraphrase. So I think that's
Right.
what matters.
All right. And then just an example now. Example of concentration, chemical reaction, something like that.
It says here an example is high and impure air. So it says like this says pollutant. Is this just calling us out on smog?
Yeah, that sounds like it. I could think of
So
like
I'll just
acid
say,
rain or something caused by
yeah.
pollution.
So I'll just say an example of concentration in a chemical reaction is pollution.
Sure.
Yeah, there we
Air
go.
pollution, maybe air pollution. I'll add
Yeah,
that
wait,
in.
let me. Okay,
I'll,
thank
I'll,
you.
yeah.
Because when you know, like when you're driving and you see those factories and you can see like smoke coming out of it, I think that's a great example of the reaction because it's right.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to, you can just see a car, a
Yeah.
diesel engine, you might see that as well. Okay, good job on that. Let's, in just the time we've got left, let's look at your feedback. Maybe there is something quick that we can do here. Of course, your sessions have expired. Okay. Um, here we go, new. Right. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not helpful. So,
That are you looking at lesson 3? Because it's like right up there.
there it is. I'm sorry. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Nice. It's just one sentence. Uh, all right, so this is so the thing that is really frustrating here is that she just wants you to write one sentence. Um, and this is your thesis. Um, that's highlighted there. Just that. That's your thesis.
All right.
That's it. I mean that I guess that's all she wants. Which
Yeah.
uh so let's just I guess just redo this with that, and then I'm pretty sure we already this suggests she didn't actually look. I believe we did correct the sentence. So is that
All right.
clear what to do to resubmit this? That it's the
Yes.
okay. That should take care of
I feel
that.
like she just saw that I resubmitted the whole thing, and she's like, "Well, I'm not gonna look at it because it's likely the same, and I'll just write
Exactly.
my criticism."
Exactly. And that this is the game. You want to finish the class, and she gets to be the gatekeeper. All right.
Mhm.
So for tomorrow, we're gonna it's 9 and 10. If you guys need any adjustment to that schedule, I do have some time on Thursday. Yeah, I guess nine's fine, but if you want to make any adjustments, let me know.
All right.
So yeah, that is it for today. Good job.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're gonna stop there, and I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Okay, bye, Ivana.
Bye bye.